The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome and thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. Tony V, Kathy H.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I missed you, my
I
friend.
I know.
It seems like it's been forever.
I know.
And 1 minute with you people is enough.
That's all we have time for. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you for our reunion show. It's been a delight.
Are you sitting far away from me on purpose?
No, this is where my seat's always been.
We don't mess with the furniture.
Okay.
No,
I just
no.
feel like
They're
I'm.
very touchy.
You're giving it too much credit that I came in here early and started rearranging things.
For a reason.
For a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I did not too much thought there. But
Yeah.
thanks for joining us here. The summer's flying by. We actually have a sunny day out today.
Woohoo.
Nice.
What do you have coming up? We always kind of blow through the whole show. You got a few things coming up.
Yeah, we just did the Cape Cod Melody tent.
Nice. With Christine? Were you?
It was Christine Hurley, Jimmy Dunn, Jimmy Cash, Corey Rodriguez, Will Noonan, and myself.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great
So
show.
it was a quiet little get together.
Yeah.
Quiet get-together.
And there was
Nice
no
crowd.
laughing, right?
No laughing. The Cape is so subdued
it
this
was-
time of year.
oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
How many people does that Melody tent hold?
2,500?
2,500.
Okay, 'cause I've been
we
there,
were
but I-
pretty close to sold out.
Really?
Which was great. Yeah, we had a big, nice crowd.
Yeah.
And then the reason I wasn't here for a couple was I just taped a special in New Jersey that I don't know if it's taped anymore. They captured it somehow digitally.
Right, whatever.
So what was it
Whatever,
on?
pixel. And
Pixeled.
they I don't know what they're going to do with it. They're going to sell it to one of
No,
the.
but what was it about? And
It was a comedy festival
oh, okay.
called Crossroads, and a bunch of us did 40-minute specials.
Nice.
Yeah, Christine Hurley did one. Corey Rodriguez did one. Tom Carter, a buddy of mine. Dan Natterman.
Wow.
And a bunch
you
of other
guys
people from New
are
York.
hitting a home run here.
Yeah, they did 2 a night for 2 weeks in a row, 3 nights a week.
So I bet
12.
do you think it'll end up on like Netflix?
Yeah,
Or, yeah.
I mean that's the hope,
Right.
You know, or Amazon or YouTube or somewhere they're going to sell them to somebody,
Right.
And they were great. Eddie Brill, my buddy Eddie Brill, who was the talent coordinator on Letterman for a long time, he
Oh.
set the whole thing up.
Oh, really?
And it went very well.
That's very
I'm
cool.
glad to hear
People
that.
laughed at our antics, and I got
I'm
to
sure.
smoke a cigar by a dumpster
Every day.
every
So
day.
you weren't
And that
far
was
from
great.
home
No,
then, huh?
they got nice dumpsters
Was
in New
this
Jersey.
good as dumpster as we usually hang out at?
It's a different company, but I
Okay.
adjust.
It smelled just the
yeah,
same.
just the same.
So what about
It
when
keeps
you
people away from me.
were
which
you
is
at
what
the
I
diner
want.
at the diner with that crazy real estate agent?
Yes, that's
Ooh.
what, he was on the thing. I can't remember that guy's name, but I took a picture and sent
I
it
know.
to
I
you.
said I don't, and I
He was like in a tub shirt.
We
he
can't
Yeah.
give
he
our
looked-
viewers the total, literally picture of this,
Yeah,
but
but-
you have to see the picture
Yeah,
of it.
he looked like.
I said I don't think I'm going to be using him.
No, he
No.
looked like a creep.
Yeah.
He totally looked like a pedophile
Yes,
of sorts.
he did. Yes.
I don't think he's trying to avoid the impression of being
No,
a...
no.
I know.
Yeah,
Most pedophiles try to pretend they're not.
They would
but-
give it a shot.
It's
so-
a
should we
it's a
do
niche.
Should we do
It's a niche.
a trigger warning? Can we talk
well,
about
this I have a feeling this
Do it.
show is going to be a lot of trigger warnings. I'm just letting you know. This
All
show,
right, so we're gonna do it.
this
We're
show
gonna do
and
a
next
blanket
show.
trigger warning.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
in August, I will be opening for One Bill Burr in
really?
Springfield on the 11th, and then we're flying to Nova Scotia
That's
the
awesome.
next day.
That is
or
pretty cool.
Halifax. Is that Halifax? I
Yeah.
guess? Yeah, Nova Scotia. Yeah.
So, do you have your skit already, or is it still formulating for August?
What I did at the beginning, the first 15 minutes or so
Of Fenway?
is new. No,
It's all new.
It's all new since Fenway.
Okay.
And I'll be doing that primarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does he mix up his show?
He does. He writes
Okay.
about a new hour every subsidiary tours.
Okay.
Which is
That's what I heard he
insane to me.
promised after
Yeah,
Fenway Park. Said,
yeah,
"Listen,
yeah.
If I'm
This
coming
is-
back, it'll be a whole new hour.
Yeah, it'll be a whole new
Yeah.
hour. So,
As funny as
yeah,
can be,
so,
and I'm
he's
sure
got a
you'll be
bunch
great.
of shows coming up.
Yeah.
You know what was very cool was Prince Pizza the night before Fenway Park
Oh.
had Tony and Bill Burr down
Yeah.
Yep.
to kind of warm it up.
It was
so,
our warm-up sets. For
So
the,
we had about 30 people as opposed to 20,000 people.
oh, my God, we
No.
had to import another dumpster.
Was it 100 people there?
Well, 100. All right, I exaggerated. Yeah, so there's
I mean,
about
the show was sold out, but then, every comic in the world came,
right.
came down, wanted
Right.
pictures by the dumpster. and
Right.
everything, so.
That was a great show.
It was a good show.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
You know what I like about you guys is, and a couple of your other buddies, Kenny Rogerson does it. A whole bunch of them do it, but when you can't get the joke out because you're already laughing in your head,
right.
And he did that a couple times. You do that all the time.
Yeah.
But he did that a couple times at Prince Pizza, and we were up right in the front row.
Oh, Bill Burr?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was dying. Like, that makes me laugh more
could
than
see
the
it.
joke,
You
right?
know something good's coming.
Yeah, and if a top comedian like you or Bill Burr think it's funny, it's
yeah.
wicked funny.
You know when I knew you were going to nail it was, let me know if you remember this part where, and we were near the people. There was a little commotion way up top.
Oh, with the lights.
Something going with the lights.
Oh,
and-
section 103.
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
And you said, I'm nailing it in
I'm
103.
killing it in
Killing
103.
And then I knew you were off and running.
Well,
Because the lights were really bright,
Yeah,
and they're
and
And it was
yelling.
like 10
Yeah.
people out of 18,000 people way up top.
And it coincided with a punchline to a joke, and they
Yeah.
cheered. And I go, I am killing it in 103. And then, I had a moment on stage, and this is a little trigger warning, but when I was going back and forth, now I'm at Fenway, and I'm going back and forth with a section that's all the way across the field, up 2 levels.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
turned my head, and in my own head, I said to myself, the ball's on you, ad-libbing at Fenway Park. But that's when I knew
Yes.
I was comfortable
That's
and
what I
that it
mean.
was going,
You
it
were-
was well.
Yeah.
I'll never forget
Yeah,
how
you nailed it.
How
Yeah.
proud I was of you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was in the shower getting ready to go to the event, and I was a nervous wreck. And I called Rick and I go, I wonder how Tony's doing. Like, because honestly, like that probably has to be the most.
It was. I said. I've told a few people this. It was more daunting doing the sound check
Oh,
to an
really?
empty park.
Yeah.
When you see the
Oh.
expanse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you think of everything
That's
that's
true.
ever gone on.
stomach.
Right. Like I'm standing where Bruce Springsteen stood.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I was in the audience then. And
Yeah.
But then when people fill in, it's just a big room. And when
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are laughing, you go like,
yeah.
oh,
Right, it
right,
could be
this is-
100 people, or it could be
this
20
is-
million
right,
people.
This is what I do, right?
And you
So,
didn't
yeah.
hold back. You did your Subaru joke.
Yeah. I'm not, I
Yeah, that was
shy
a
away
good
from
one.
anything. Yeah,
I didn't know what the issue was with
yeah,
driving a Subaru.
yeah.
Stop.
What?
All right, do you have anything on
I do
those
have a lot of
notes?
stuff. And speaking of all the stuff Tony has done, people are still raving about the seminars that the 3 of us do. That you and me are probably not going to be needed for much more because.
Well, I pick out the menu.
yeah, how'd
Yeah.
you do in the open bar?
Not very good. Did you
Or
hear what
good.
happened?
No,
We thought we were paying
So
for
I
everything.
had
for
a
the-
credit card in my back pocket.
right.
And so anybody that was standing in line that I was friendly with, I'm like, come around, and we were going to the bar around the corner
Right.
quicker. And everybody's standing in line, and I'm like, why is this line so long? You know what I mean? And I wouldn't stand in line, so
Right.
and so me and Renee were going over there, and so the reason it was taking so long is they made it a cash bar.
Oh,
We
and
thought we were
you
paying
thought
for
you
everyone.
just left your credit card.
So
and
Yeah,
everything.
no, and so I went to pay. I go, can
Right.
I wrap up this cash? I mean the tab,
Bill,
and she goes,
yeah.
there is no tab, and I go, what?
What? Ooh.
But
So,
honestly,
so our big impression to everyone, how we're doing so well,
Yeah.
we made them pay their own bills.
but in all honesty, a lot of the
drinking
Whoops.
too much.
a lot of the brokers wouldn't wait in line, so they were scooting over to the other bar,
bar anyway, so they got
I
it.
was picking
Right.
up the tabs over there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
All right, good.
if they know people in high places, they
those
got
are-
a free drink
Yeah.
or
you
two.
know, that event is very fun.
Very classy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
The weather was
It was gorgeous.
because it was
That
pouring
place.
in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
I said, "Uh-oh." But
I said the only thing that could go wrong is the weather, and
Yeah.
we woke up and we're like, yeah, what else
It's
could
such
go
a
wrong?
beautiful
It's a great venue.
spot, the
Yeah.
Beauport. It's
Oh, yeah.
just lovely. Yeah.
So I guess I don't have to show up anymore. I can just call in the
No, you
order.
have to show up. You have to show up.
Yeah, no, and the only reason it works with me there is because you do the legwork beforehand and give them real information.
And I laugh at your
And
jokes.
then you could laugh at
Well, that's what people were saying. They said those questions and answers you were asking, and Tony was giving the answers. We were actually getting information. I go, yeah.
Yeah.
They said, and they say it again. Goes, is that how your podcast is? I go, that's exactly,
how
how
it is.
podcast
Right,
is.
yes.
Subliminally.
He knows things.
Yeah.
I know
He
things.
knows
I just don't
things.
let people know things.
No, it's too
Right,
late
it's-
now.
right.
Everyone knows now. So,
Right.
so in that, I was thinking what we could do for a couple minutes is recap because we got a lot of good questions. We really did legitimately
I'm
get a
trying
lot
to
of
think of the
questions.
good one that Tony had. It was like if you have to disclose that there's water in the basement, or he's like, if you don't have to disclose it unless you're asked,
Right.
and then if you're asked, you have to tell the truth at that point.
Right. That's when you have to
Yeah.
tell the truth.
So I
Right.
was like, oh, I'm so impressed.
yeah.
The hole in the closet was throwing them
Hole
all
in the
off.
closet. Yeah. Right.
That was about 10 minutes.
Right.
How about this? What if there's clothes in
Clothes
front
in
of the
front of the
closet?
closet.
Yeah, so
Right.
they,
Yeah.
so,
If it's not a completely visible hole in the closet.
Right.
If you have to move stuff to see the hole.
Right.
Right.
So we did talk about a few scams, and my sisters reminded me this. I guess about 4 or 5 shows ago, we said our next show would be on scams.
Oh,
of course,
boy.
we blew
Sorry,
right through that.
sorry, Susan.
So,
we
but
didn't know someone was keeping tabs on us.
But we did talk about a few of those.
Maybe
days.
she can write a children's book on real estate scams.
I was thinking she should write a ABC book on. I know you had your idea,
Yeah.
but terminology for real estate terminology.
Yeah, it'd be great.
You don't need Susan Sabatelli.
I know,
to write
I
the
know.
book,
We're gonna write
honey.
that.
So
Yeah.
one day I called Rick up. It was the weekend, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He goes, "I'm writing my children's book."
Oh, great.
Yeah. See, he doesn't think it's weird.
That's not.
I am
God.
going to have a real book out. You don't believe me?
I thought I was helping you. I got the forward and
No. You asked for the first chapter. I said there's 4 chapters altogether. You're not getting 1 and 4.
Oh.
You'll get the second edition.
Second, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll
Well,
get that all
if,
right.
if I'm not writing the book with you or helping you, can you just dedicate it to me?
I'll
at least?
dedicate it
course.
too.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll get a dedication.
Not with 25 other people. I would like just a
So you just want one dedication.
Yeah.
I dedicate
To
this
my
book
left
only
arm.
to
my
Kathy
left
Holtshouser.
arm.
To my
Kathy
left
Holtz-
arm.
Yes, my left arm.
Is it the left arm or right arm?
I'm not a right arm. I don't have a notary commission anymore.
So a couple scams we talked about, and I'll do it very good because they're curious about this because I've talked to my title insurance people. The latest couple scams is vacant land.
Yep.
What they're doing is because it's really hard to do the checks and balances with someone selling their house. You're knocking on the door. You're doing a home inspection.
Right.
With vacant land. Someone could just say, "I own this land." Typical Florida
Right.
trick that they used to do 30.
Right,
But
I
I
could
just,
send you a picture
Yeah,
of
yeah,
land and
exactly.
go, wouldn't you like to own
exactly,
this? Of course
exactly.
I would.
Yeah, I would too. We all would.
Too bad I don't own it.
Of course I would.
Well, you can be just like the other 9 guys I sold it to.
Right.
So I guess that's very prevalent now because, again, no checks and balances and
And also missing sellers.
missing sellers, exactly.
Like sellers that are being represented by somebody else.
Right.
Oh, we'll get it signed for you. Like
Yeah, so
that
you have to
kinda,
have
like,
you have to
third
have
party.
a fraudulent or unscrupulous notary involved. So that's what they're doing. They're saying, I own the property. I'll sell it to you for X amount of dollars. They have it notarized.
And then they get a deposit.
Yeah, they get a deposit.
Right, and then you never hear from them.
Never hear
again.
from them again. So and
That's a good business.
It's a good business.
Yeah.
So I guess our suggestions were on that. If you do have vacant land, you should always go to the town hall because they'll tell you where the
owns it.
tax bill
Right,
goes to.
right, right.
So you should probably make a call or two. Call me crazy if you're going to be buying a $500,000 lot.
We're
right, 1,500 miles away.
We're not really real estate experts anymore.
We
We're
are
more-
scam artists.
No.
Or
That's not what I was
Oh,
going
no,
to tell everybody. No, I wasn't telling them that
All
today.
right.
No.
We're not really.
We are
Detectives?
detectives.
Yeah.
And because Rick says quick closing, I start going on. I'm like, the owner's not really the owner. So
Right.
we gotta everything isn't what it says
Right,
in the
right.
purchase and sale agreement.
Right.
It's not as obvious as
Right.
this
Right. No, that's a good point. There.
seller
People,
to the buyer.
That's a good point. We weren't going to talk about it. It's a great point there because sometimes people, when we have a situation like this now where the grandparents passed away, gave it to the father passed away, and gave it to the daughter. That we have, I have a seller representation on that, but it's never been probated at all. So you got to do a little. You just don't automatically get it.
Right.
Even though it's in a will
Right.
and says,
Well, you have to file the will with the
Right.
probate
Yeah.
court to make it public.
Now,
Right.
would putting it in trust help you
Yes,
at all?
right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's teary-eyed. He's so
I know.
good.
Do you
It's
need us
just-
to help you with that?
But that's a great point.
Yes,
so you
because
put it
the
in trust, and then you avoid a lot of the probate
Right,
process.
right.
So
Because
when the
then you have a
trustees,
successor trustee, and then you
Right.
have
is
beneficiaries.
Ed Sullivan coaching you on this
No,
real estate
I
stuff?
know these
You
things.
know this stuff anyway. There.
Ed Sullivan coaches me on tech and cigars.
Oh wow.
And
not in that order.
No.
And how to
they
cook.
have equal weight.
Right? And he knows how to make
He
a pie.
he knows how to make a pie.
So there's three things.
But he's very knowledgeable. He's
Right.
got a
Hi,
lot
Ed.
of time on his hands.
He's like a Renaissance
Yes.
man.
I
He just
love
knows-
Ed Sullivan. We miss you.
You know, before each show, I generally meet with Ed and sometimes David, the guy that owns the place.
Yep.
And we have a cigar in Dave's
Once in a while.
office. And I'll always say to Eddie, "Are you free?" And he'll go, "Let me check my schedule."
Oh, where did he get that from?
Right. But he
Does he
unlike
say, "I'm open"?
He unlike me has nothing else to do.
Good for you.
Did you ever ask him
GFY.
if he has a mortgage on his
Just
house?
No, he does not.
he
That's
does not.
that's the point of that.
No.
Right.
So that's why he has nothing to do. The rest of us who have mortgages on our houses still have to do a few
No,
things.
we also had a very fun discussion about money. You
Okay.
know, Ed's daughter was in a place where she needed help,
Yeah.
getting an apartment and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like this. He was going back and forth about, should I give her the money, help her with this, blah, blah, blah. And he had a discussion with his wife, as I have had with mine, which is he goes, look, it's her money. It's, it's
Right.
That's a
she's-
good point.
Right, she's going to get it. And I say that to my wife all the time. I go, I'd rather give it to the kids while
When
they
you're
can.
alive, right.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm dead, all they're going is, oh, what a good guy he was. And I get to
how much did I get?
Yeah, right. This is, you see them benefiting from it and enjoying it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
As long as they don't get too comfortable or decide they need more and you'll meet an early demise.
Kids
of
would never be
sorts.
like that.
Trigger warning again.
Yeah.
Kids wouldn't be like that.
No, not Ed's kid anyway.
Yeah. My daughter Renee is in her 30s. She says, friends of mine come up to me and say, at what point did your father, stop, you were looking for them for dependence on things. She
Right.
goes, it hasn't happened
Hasn't
yet.
happened yet. Yeah. No, I have this discussion with my friends all the time. They go, well, the kids are out of the house, so we're all. I go, I worry about my kids every day.
Right.
Still,
Oh,
Gus
yeah.
is 25, Cecilia's 23, but they're still my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only reason they're here is because of me.
Right.
Right.
They didn't
Right.
ask. to
They
be
did not.
here.
They didn't ask
Right.
to be born.
No, they
no,
didn't.
no.
And after they looked around, they go, maybe it would be better if we weren't.
Right.
But it's too late at that point.
Oh, yeah.
My kids used to say they're calling child services. I'm like, go
Go
right ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go
you
live
still get
somewhere
nervous.
else. Yeah.
Someday I'll tell the story, which I won't today because sometimes I find myself repeating myself, is how we lost my son at Fenway Park. And
Oh, yeah,
we
we-
had all
we've
the
already-
police
yeah.
worried about that.
Yeah.
But we'll
How
talk
old
about
is it?
Yeah, 28.
25.
No, he's 28.
28.
28.
The cop looked at me like, what a
What are you,
what
nuts?
a dink you are.
Oh, what a poor 28-year-old that can't find his way out of Fenway Park.
He knew his way around. He don't even
He didn't
ask.
want to be found.
He didn't want to be found.
Yeah.
So at the Beauport, we had a very nice, and we
Yeah,
had
it was
a
a great
lot.
event.
So what are the scams they talk? One of my neighbors' elderly father has this scam where someone called up and said, "Give me $12,000. I'll get rid of your timeshare for you." And he says, "Well, I can't really afford that." He says, "That's okay. I can set up a credit card for you." And
Right.
Oh, God.
I know. And
No,
you-
so there's the bottom line is you should never, ever give your credit card information,
Right.
bank information, anything personal to anyone that has solicited you.
An incoming call, so to
Right.
speak, or an email.
So if
Right.
you do
Right.
an outgoing call
Right.
to Capital One, but that's your credit card,
Right, you know.
you can do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Right.
there's another scam going around that my friend almost got caught in. And the only reason I knew it was because I didn't have an account at Citizens Bank, a personal account.
Right.
I got a text that said there's been some illegal activity or suspected
Yeah.
illegal activity on your account.
on your account,
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then it took me like 10 minutes to realize I had a Citizens account a long time ago.
Right.
But your brain goes
You go,
faster.
what did I do?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So me and my friend is sitting there. She got the same text, and she happens to have a Citizens account, and she's ready to hit the click. I go, don't click
no.
on anything,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
already knew.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she ended up calling the 1-800 number for her bank,
Yeah.
Yeah.
giving her account number,
Yeah.
and they said, no, that's a
no,
big
that-
scam
yeah.
going
Yeah,
yeah,
around.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the minute you click on it,
Yeah, they get all your information. Yeah.
What,
So-
what happened? Remember about 5 years ago, the big scams was I'm lost in Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
that was more than that. It was
10
probably like
years
20
ago.
years ago.
Yeah. And that,
Well,
that,
you know-
that was their big scam.
Yeah.
then.
But now people are worried now with AI
Oh,
that
yeah.
they're going to get people's voices, so it's going to
yeah.
sound like your
Oh,
loved
yeah.
one.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been arrested in Mexico,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I need
No, you're good.
blah 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 blah.
Remember
Luckily-
our family got that call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all going around. They're like, we need to get a bank check. We need to do this. I
Yeah.
go, wait a minute. Can you someone tell me the story?
Right.
And Rick told me the story, but he's getting flustered, yelling
Of
calls.
course.
I go, no. It's a scam.
It's a scam.
It's a Tuesday morning. Steven wouldn't possibly be drunk from a wedding on a
That's
Tuesday
what they said.
morning.
They
Right.
said your nephew's been arrested. You know, you got to
Right.
send X amount of dollars and send it in gift cards. Sounds very official.
And then the grandmother goes, Steven? And they're like, yeah, your grandson
Right.
Yeah.
Steven.
Yeah.
Right.
And the
Oh no,
other-
they go, is this on Steven? And everything you say, they just okay.
Yes.
And it makes it sound like they knew what
they
they were talking
know
about.
it, yeah.
Is it about Steven?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yes,
it's about
so
Steven.
Steven.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, but the other one that they do is when they only want you to do one-word answers.
Yeah.
Because if you say yes or you say no,
Yeah.
they're taking your voice yes.
That's what Tony was saying.
And then they're going to use it against
Yeah.
you. Yeah. We did. I had one. I'm going to swear in a minute.
I am
just
too.
so
I'm
people
going.
know.
I'm going to swear after you.
Okay. We got a call. I was in Aruba. I was doing Aruba Ray's comedy club. When we were on the beach, and Ray got a call that was obviously a scam.
Yep.
And we all knew it, and we were in our own mode. And we kept this guy on the phone
Oh yeah.
for about a half hour. You know, asking the right questions.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, so all I need is, you know, your
Credit card.
Your credit card. We go, "Yeah, okay. I go, we'd like to send it in an email. He goes, okay, what's your email? And I go, it's gofuckyourmother.com. He goes, what? I said, it's
.com.
gofuckyourmother.com. And
I
then
did the same, yeah.
he started swearing, get me on the...
Because he thought that he
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
they
Oh, he's
had
annoyed
you.
with you.
Yeah, he get mad at us. Right.
How could you have taken up his time?
Right.
You know, he's just a scam artist.
Right. I just saved 3 other people.
The IRS agent tells me I have back taxes
Oh,
like
yeah,
a couple
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah,
and
we've
I
talked
go,
about that one.
And he goes, do not talk. I go,
yeah.
wait a minute. You're calling me and telling me that I have back taxes,
Right.
and now you're telling me I can't ask
Yeah,
any
any
questions?
questions?
I go, can I ask a question? He goes, I told you not to talk. So finally, I let him tell me that I'm going to jail or I'm going here. And I go, so how do I clear this up? Do I just give you my credit card information? And he goes, yes. So I go, can you hang on a second? And I put him on hold. It was at work.
Yeah.
I just left him, whatever.
Yeah.
I went over and I go, Ronell, watch this. So I pick up the phone
It
and I
was
said,
similar to your answer.
yeah. I go, you ready for my my credit card information? And he goes, yes. And I go, it's 1-800 go fuck yourself. And the guy literally didn't
Yeah.
say. He was someone hit him over with a 2x4.
Right.
And we laughed for the rest of the day because he totally thought that I was that stupid.
You know, I one time got a call from one of the phone companies back when they were phone companies. And we had closed out an account or whatever. And I think I owed them $2.97.
Yep.
and they called, and they were going to start
Go to a
proceeding.
collection agent. Yeah.
Go,
yeah.
you go right ahead.
And I go, do you really think I don't have $2.97? I said,
I have it in checks.
So I go, I keep
I
this
just had a Seinfeld show on.
Yeah. So I keep them on the phone longer than they wanted to be on the phone.
Yep.
And I go, I'm very sorry for the mix-up here. My wife generally handles this part of the business.
The marriage.
So could you just give me a minute? So I go.
I'll
they go,
laugh.
yes,
Have you
yeah,
heard
yeah,
this
yeah,
one
yeah,
before?
yeah.
No.
And
I might have.
So
but-
I
This
put
is
the
a good
phone
one.
down on speaker, and I start yelling at my wife, who's not even in the house. I go, "You fucking asshole! You do this to me every time. I'm gonna blacken the other eye."
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And then I start.
If you only had a gun in there with a
Yeah,
shot.
oh, I wish I did. And then I pick up the phone. Boo, there's nothing.
Did you ever have to pay the? I can't even.
Oh God, I need water after that one.
And I was just amusing myself. I was
Yeah.
the only one around.
Did
Sometimes
they
I
ever
do
put
that.
it to collections
Yeah,
for
some-
$2?
The black and the other eye.
You always do this to me.
How many times do I have to tell you?
And just for the record, we're not condoning hitting anybody.
No.
It was.
And we're not laughing because someone almost.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
I
so
do
trigger.
I do stuff like that all the time. Like one night I was coming home from a show in downtown Boston.
I might just leave this
and I
water
was
right up here.
I was walking down by the Ritz,
Yeah.
and they have the plate glass windows,
yeah.
and there's a lot of well-heeled people in there, and
Yeah.
these older women who would, having tea or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was no one else around, and I just
Don't
gave
tell
this,
me.
I did. I gave this woman the finger for no reason at all, just to amuse myself.
And the
it's just-
ruckus.
Right. You could see she got wait,
She's going right up to
that
the
dirty man.
that dirty man.
I think I know him.
She did nothing. She was just enjoying her evening. And I was just in a mood, and I just flipped her off, and she was the only one who could see it.
Oh,
so
my
I
God.
know she's telling her friend.
And they turn around.
Someone just stuck up their middle finger.
And they
at
turn
me.
around looking at you, and you look so innocent. What do you mean?
I just walked down the street.
Kept walking.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right.
No.
Or
Don't-
funny.
yeah.
You be your own judge.
Yeah,
You
I
think
just
it's
put
funny.
it out there.
You do you.
I
Everyone
just
else,
put it
you
out.
guys do
Oh
you.
God, I'm gonna blacken the other eye. All right, here's.
I can't.
Oh God.
I can't even.
All right, here's a real one. I know we're running out of time. Here's a real one. My title insurance company just told me about. You know how banks send us the money for someone who's purchasing. This bank they thought to the attorney's office $1 million, but they're scammed. They sent it to someone else.
Because it had a similar
Exactly. Yeah.
address?
Yep. So they just lost. This is just a few weeks ago. Lost
Oh
about
my God.
$1 million. So then they started complaining. It was
Can they ever get it back?
It's tough. It's just almost like a kidnapping. The longer it's gone,
Right, it's
the
already
less likely.
laundered and-
Yeah,
So that's the other thing that we definitely struggle with is when a seller wants their funds wired.
Yeah.
Because one time, and this was a long time ago, but one time someone hacked into we have a very, very intricate security
Right.
system, but
A lot of
somehow
firewalls.
somebody was in. This
Yeah.
was about 10 years ago, but it has kicked off. It's had repercussions ever since. But I was emailing this lady and said, I'll tell you how much to wire.
Right.
And they pick up the keyword wire, and then they look who I work for, and then they say, so then they're going to override me. And so this lady was getting emails from Rick Carter, attorney Rick Carter, saying, I know you're trying to wire money, but this is the account
This is
number.
where
This
it
is
should
what,
go.
yeah,
This is where it should go.
Right.
And the only way that we found out was the lady was calling from the bank yelling,
And I was on the phone. She goes, "Where's Rick Carter? He just told me to wire the money somewhere else. I got to confirm it." And I was on the phone.
But she
I
was
on the phone.
my client. I had been working with her the whole time.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I
But
wouldn't have
so-
known her from Boo, right?
from no one.
Right.
And you're like, I totally didn't tell her where to wire the money to. And I'm
Right.
like, are you sure? Because the sister's at the bank trying to wire her money,
Right.
but there was something wrong
Wrong,
with that
right.
information. Thank God.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But ever since then, we've
There's
had
nothing
definitely had
Yeah, I mean it's nothing to say. I just watched a 4-part ABC thing on that Ashley Madison. The
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
site
Yeah,
that you could cheat on your spouse.
Yeah.
And they got hacked. And they had like all kinds of
really?
firewalls and people, they had millions of names
Wow.
of these guys who were cheating on their wives. And the thing is, the people didn't want money; they just wanted
Information.
Yeah, they just wanted information. Yeah.
Wow.
So
and now they have information to sell.
Yeah. So listen, the long and the short, if you're gonna cheat on your spouse,
Don't use Ashley Madison.
go to a bar like any
Yeah.
sane scumbag and meet somebody who's
Yeah.
shit-faced.
Yeah.
And use your fraudulent credit card while you're
Credit
doing
card,
it.
of
Don't use
course.
your real credit
Yeah,
card.
No.
Oh, God, should we end on that one?
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted. All right, so maybe for the next show, all these notes that we didn't get to,
I can't believe we didn't get to it. It's so not like us.
you know whose fault it is?
It's Chrissy.
Ed Sullivan.
Oh, that's
Ed Sullivan's fault.
Oh, so we're going to talk a lot about what brokers should and should not say to their clients, and we'll talk about that all next week, and we'll be well prepped for it because we're planning on talking about it all today. So that is it. Thank you, Kathy H. and Tony V.
Great show.
Very informative.
Yes.
Very informative.
Or silly,
Oh,
but
I'm
funny.
I'm going to take care of that other. Oh, yeah.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.